In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to set up your email services through GoHighLevel so you don't land in spam. Now, this is really important because if you don't do this and you just start sending emails from the platform, your email messages are probably going to look like this. Now, if they look like that, you're probably going to have really low open rates and really low reply rates. So let's talk about how to set it up properly so you can get a good email campaign going.
All right, so we're going to jump into one of our newer sub accounts that does not have their email services set up yet. But one quick thing to note before we get started, if you're using this video to set up your email services for yourself, great, go ahead and watch it all the way through and it should be plenty of help to you. If you're using this video to learn how to set this up for clients or you're planning to white label GoHighLevel, I would highly suggest building out some type of training center that you can go and use. And what I mean by this is I built this out for all my clients so that when they come into the platform, they get a step-by-step onboarding course on how to use every single feature of the platform. They get setup guides on how to set up their phone number and make it A2P verified, how to connect their domain, and like we're talking about today, how to set up their email services. Now, I'm not saying this is never going to make you have to hop on a call with a client. You're still going to have to help people out sometimes, but I will definitely say this will mitigate the number of calls that you have to get on. That will sometimes be 30 to 45 minutes that can be solved through a simple 5-minute video for a simple issue. Now, if you want access to my training center along with all my templates and my automations, I actually give access to all of this to my affiliates. So if you're looking to get started with GoHighLevel, you can actually click the link in the description of this video to sign up for a 14-day free trial, and I'll send all of this material over to you so you can get a quicker start than what I had to land your first client. So with that being said, let's jump into it. So we're going to come over here to the left side and we're going to go down to settings. And I'm just going to note two quick things on the business profile. I'm going to blur this for privacy reasons, but under the business profile information, under the general info, whatever email that you put in the general info, that is going to be the default from email that is sent. So in your automations in my other video, like I talked about, you can put in the from email or the from name. So this is what they see when it pops up. But whatever business email you put in here, that's what it's going to default by if there's nothing in the automation. So if you don't know what that means, watch the automation video. But the other thing I was going to say is scroll down here to the bottom right, and under the general info, you're going to see a checkbox. And this checkbox is going to say mark an email invalid if there is a bounce. Now, the reason why this is important is because if you have an email campaign that's built out and you send one email, it's an invalid email, and you don't have this checked, and then you get another 2 or 3 emails sent out, they're just going to keep bouncing. And what that's going to do is it's going to hurt your email health score, which is going to make more of your emails land in spam. So I always like to note those two things before we jump into the actual email services themselves. And when you jump into email services, this is going to pop up. And this is basically saying, hey, you need to go through what we're about to do in this video because it's going to be a shared domain that is going to be sending out your emails when you first jump into GoHighLevel, and you're probably going to have more people land in spam. So you'll see here, there's this weird email. So it's msgsndr.net. So GoHighLevel already has these email services set up. So you could do nothing and send an email. But the problem is because this is shared, that is a very unhealthy domain. So because of that, those messages that I talked about in the intro of the video that say, hey, this looks unsafe, this looks dangerous, you're going to get those if you're just using this shared domain. So since we don't have a domain set up, what we're going to go ahead and do is click this button right here that says dedicated domain and IP. You can also get to it by coming to the left side and finding the domains icon under the settings. But for this example, we are going to go ahead and just click it here. And when I come into here, I'm going to go ahead and add a domain. Now, what we're going to do is you can see the example that's given is it's lc.mydomain.com. Now, this can be whatever you want. Now, what I like to do is I typically like to do info. That's just what I like to do. And I'll just use a fake domain for this example. So I'll just do info.growcore.com. Sometimes what people will do is they'll just put the first letter of their website or their business name right here, just so it looks more natural. But again, do whatever you want. Info.growcore.com. You could do sales.growcore.com. Anything that you want. So let's go ahead and hit add and verify. And once we do that, we're going to have two options. So we can hit continue, or we can add records manually. Now, if you've never added DNS records, don't worry, we're going to talk through it right now. But if you hit continue, what's kind of nice about it is if depending on your domain provider, it's going to try to automatically connect you. So if you can do that, great, go ahead and hit continue, and you can skip this manual step and just go right to the verification. But I'm going to go ahead and add the records manually because in my experience, a lot of the times I do have to add them manually. So I want you to see what this looks like. So here are the different records that I need to add. Now, this is super easy because all I have to do is copy and paste this, but I just need to know where to go in order to do this. So for this example, I'm going to use Squarespace for this fake domain. So I went to Squarespace and I went to the DNS settings. Now, it's pretty easy to find them. Whether you're using GoDaddy, Cloudflare, it doesn't matter. Just go to your settings, find your DNS records. It's pretty self-explanatory. After that, you're going to find custom records and you're going to add these in. So I've already added these in, but I'll show you how to do it. So I'm going to come up here and do add record, and I'm going to come back to GoHighLevel and I'm going to find the host. So I'm just going to copy this here. I'm going to paste it. For the type, I'm going to again come back here. It's going to be TXT is the record type. So I'm going to scroll down, move my face out of the way a little bit and do TXT. And then I'm going to do required value. So I'm going to copy that and then paste it in the text. And I'm going to hit save. So once I do that, I'm going to repeat that same process over and over again until I'm done with all of these records. After I'm done with adding all of these records into my domain provider, I'm going to go ahead and hit verify records. Now, when you first come into this, it's pretty common to actually see these say not verified. So what I would go ahead and do is come down here to the bottom right and hit verify domain a few times to let it refresh, and you'll see the green symbols pop up. And what I mean by green symbols is you'll see all these status icons will now say verified and they will show green. After that, I'll come back here and I've switched my sub account here so you can see what it looks like. And you'll see it will say SSL issued. Sometimes it will say that it's pending. Just give it a minute and then it will switch to issued. But once you see that it is issued, you are good to go. And then after that, you can see I've set a default header. So whenever I send an email, it's always going to show the name as So Simply and then the email as info@sosimply.com. But you can see same principle as before. I put in the info.sosimply.com when I was setting up my domain to connect to this email.
Now, before you go out and start sending thousands of emails through GoHighLevel, I want to make it very clear that it's important that you warm up your email. And I'll actually attach GoHighLevel's email warm-up guide in the description below. But essentially, when you send your first few emails, they might go to spam still. And it's just because that domain isn't recognized yet. So a few suggestions that I would give is send them to emails that you know are good and you have access to, maybe family and friends. They can go into their email folders, and if it goes to spam, they can go ahead and mark those safe. Or after a week or two of sending emails, maybe 50 to 100 emails a day, or if you don't want to go through the hassle of sending these to family and friends, if you just launch and send your regular emails on a day-to-day basis, some might go to spam, some might land in the inbox, but eventually as the domain warms up, they will start landing in the inbox way more often. All right, I hope this quick and easy guide of setting up your email services was helpful for you today. Go ahead and like this video and leave a comment if you have any questions. And if you find these helpful, feel free to subscribe. Finally, like I said at the beginning of the video, if you're planning to use GoHighLevel, you can actually sign up using my link in the description for a free 14-day trial of the platform. Like I said, I give all my affiliates access to my automations, my templates, and my custom landing pages, including my training course, so that you can get a quicker start than what I had. And with that, we'll see you in the next video.